TIL. Just two of Dolly Partons' songs, Jolene and 9 to 5, grossed about $6 million to $8 million per year in royalties. Streaming has maybe made it harder for artists that are just starting out, but I love how they've rewarded artists that make songs you want to listen to over and over. Like 20 years ago, I bought Dolly Parton's Greatest Hits and listened to it a million times, and also bought some shitty album by a band no one's heard of and only listened to it once. Both of them would make the same money off of that album sale. Now, the music you listen to the most, earns the most. I think this way is way better. I will always love Dolly for buying my baby books. Her Imagination Library program sends us a new book every month. My 2-year-old loves opening the new books, from Dolly, she says in her tiny toddler voice. I love these books even more because Dolly sent them. I like to think that I would be like Dolly if I had similar resources. I wish more wealthy individuals and celebrities would use their power for good. An obscene amount of money for a couple songs when people are sleeping on the streets in mass numbers all over the fucking place. I love Dolly and I know that she's responsible for the books and the vaccine stuff, all that. I'm still just pointing out that it's a crazy fucking amount of money. The beauty about Dolly is that she gives it back. People immediately assumed I'm coming for her, not even easy to understand, especially considering her songwriting credits for Jolene. I swear to God at this point I've heard more than a dozen different versions of it. And by far the weirdest is the first one I ever heard. I loved this version at the time, but then again it was the 80s. For some reason, in my head I read 9 to 5, and associated it with 9 to 5 at the Morgue by Dog Fashion Disco. And for a brief moment I thought I'd just learned that 9 to 5 at the Morgue was a Dolly Parton song, and Dog Fashion Disco were just covering it. Chemo makes your brain weird. Why gross has been used here? I remember it may refer to something disgusting, right? Don't know why I'm seeing this constantly this past week. Edit. People here are weird. I'm not American nor talk English as my main language. Why don't vote for asking a simple question? Well, they're banger songs, so good for Dolly. Jolene is a top 10 song for me, maybe top 10. 9 to 5 is fantastic, but I've heard it in too many movies, TV shows, and commercials. I always feel like I'm going to be sold something when I heard it. So, forgive my ignorance, but I keep seeing stuff about how like Drake makes 45 cents off of streaming and all that, so how do these songs pull in so much? Edit figured it out, she owns all the songs and makes licensing deals. She spends that money well too. When Gatlinburg had that big fire several years ago, she donated Bill Gates' worth of money to help out. She has given Vanderbilt so much money, they will be naming something after her. She wrote Jolene on the same day that she wrote I Will Always Love You. If she were to like you hand me $10,000 of those over to me each year, she would still be making practically the same thing. You know? I'm just saying. I'm just passing by. Nothing to worry about. Dolly Plaza. For a long time, I only knew the line work in 9 to 5, what a way to make a living. Barely getting by. It's all talking and no giving it. I assumed it was a song about prostitutes working 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. I feel like any country singer that can go mainstream deserves every penny they get for pulling that off, unless of course it's a song about small town justice, in which case they should be paying us. Might be the only person I can think of to regularly make that kind of money who hasn't turned into a complete psychopath. Edit. Dolly's annual income is estimated at about $85 million. Islands in the stream. That is what we are. No one in between. How can I be wrong? Sail away with me. To another world. And we rely on each other, aha. From one lover to another, aha. Every woman, and I don't just in America, need to look up to Dolly. Not just an entertainer, but as a business person. She is one of America's top female CEOs. She is the template. I mean, sure. Why not? They're classics. In fact, we should be giving her more money. Can we just let her manage the national budget? Surely this would gain bipartisan support. Whatever Dolly is getting, ain't nearly enough. She is the only living sane who is also a celebrity in this country. She gon' chuck all that money into kids' books anyway. Whenever I finish reading a book we received from the Imagination Library to my 2-year-old, she says thank you Dolly and kisses her picture. It's the cutest shit ever. Safest thing is how corporates ruin 9-5. Nearly impossible to get a 9-5 job, where they pay you to take lunch and have to put up with a union that works for your interest. Dolly Parton seems like someone that could easily be a billionaire if she wasn't using the money to do good things in the world. And that is a good thing. It's because everyone and their mom have covered Jolene. Depending on how those deals were made, she could be making royalties off other people's royalties. And her park is unsurprisingly extremely neat and clean, wholesome, full of great music, and a great place to take kids. Go if you get the chance. What about I Will Always Love You that Whitney had the huge hit with? I'd guess it'd be over these two. Dolly deserves it, good for her. Dolly wrote 9 to 5 during the filming of the film and was prompted about the basic rhythm of the tune by the action of a manual typewriter. That's funny because if you asked me to name 2 Dolly Parton songs, I would only be able to name Jolene and 9 to 5. She has a free book program for kids birth to age 5, called the Imagination Library. Absolutely recommend to everyone. I read somewhere that once a song charts in the top 10 it will earn at least 6 figures a year in perpetual royalties. Dolly Parton's Imagination Library mails free books to children from birth to age 5. 186 million books so far. Jolene and Coat of Many Colors are 2 of my favorite songs of all time. And I listen to 90 heavy metal or punk. Never understood the 9 to 5 thing. How do you get your 8 hours? Don't take lunch? We all know it's 8 to 5. My daughter currently receives books from Dolly's monthly book club, free. She is a national treasure and saint. And that Dolly Parton? Well, she was Albert Einstein, of course. Wait, no. Damn it, I think I screwed up. 9 to 5. Such a wonderful song about the banes of capitalism. But so many people miss the point entirely. 9 to 5 is unironically one of the best comedies of the 80s, hands down. And a great song, good. I damn well love Jolene and hope it makes her fat stacks forever. Whatever with 9 to 5, happy for her. Another example of how capitalism has reached an end a long time ago though. Many people we know as legends have some IPs that is just continuously generating revenue. Shout out to Dolly Parton's hits, they're great and it'll be a sad day when we lose them. She is a national treasure. The world would be a better place if she were a world leader. And my area is not eligible for a free book. Guess just not enough money to spare. I wanna see 9 to 5 remade today and watch the alpha males lose their shit. And she's an actual angel in the flesh. She is seriously such a precious soul. Good. Dolly is an angel who does nothing but good. Take all the money, ma'am. Jolene is one of the best songs in human history. You can't change my mind. I am actually surprised I Will Always Love You isn't the most lucrative. She literally could have wrote just those 2 songs and retired immediately. I wonder how much the Orville paid for 9 to 5. Best battle song ever. She also wrote Jolene and I Will Always Love You on the same night. Just the 2 make millions? We got to get a GoFundMe set up for Dolly. This is the song of our revolution. The Orville Season 3 Episode 8. She wrote Jolene and I'll Always Love You on the same day. Side note, her cover of Shine from Righteous Gemstones' Chef's Kiss. These are 2 of her biggest hits and it isn't even that much money. How about her other big royalty check, I Will Always Love You? Not even gonna start with I Will Always Love You royalties. Dolly is gem. And smart enough not to blabber about politics. That's what happens when you write 2 absolute bangers. I'd guess I Will Always Love You does more than that. Jolene is the inspiration for the Elder Scrolls theme. If she were signed today, they'd make her FK all.